All right, so you're planning your book, and if you've gotten this far, you know who you're writing for, why you're writing for them, for your business, for you. You know all about what you want this book to be about, what you want this book to look like, and now you are ready to choose your publishing path. Now, if you don't know all those other things that I just said, we do have videos for each one of those. Know your what, know your who, and know your why. So make sure to go back and see those videos. But in terms of choosing your publishing path, in some regards, this is pretty straightforward. I mean, it's the traditional path or the self publishing path. There are some weird hybrid things in between, but generally speaking, those are the two options that most people have to choose from in terms of a printed book. And if you're talking audiobook or different things, then you have some other options as well. But in terms of a printed book, do you want to go through a traditional publisher or do you want to self publish? If you go through a traditional publisher, you're going to have altogether different hoops that you have to jump through in terms of proposals and different things of that nature. And so, if you're not sure what the traditional path is, then you're going to need to do some research on that path and whether that's the right path for you. Some people definitely want to go through a traditional publisher. Some people self publish for a while first, build an audience, and then go through a traditional publisher. Some people stick with self publishing all the way through. So there's no right or wrong here. I've been doing this long enough. I can remember when self publishing was not cool and you were not supposed to do it because I don't know. I don't really know. Maybe the traditional publishing was threatened by it. I don't really know what the underlying reasoning was at the time. But in the early 2000s, uh, self publishing had become a thing, but it wasn't a widely accepted way to do business. And but now it's very much so. People are constantly self-publishing, and there's a lot of pros to self-publishing. So you want to familiarize yourself with the pros of traditional publishing versus self-publishing to decide which path is right for you. And then once you've chosen that, it will help you know how to go forward with the rest of your book process in terms of the other stages: writing, editing, designing, and publishing. I know it seems weird that you would choose that on the front end during the planning, but it really will dictate. If you went through the expenses of uh, writing, editing, designing, everything, and then decided how you wanted to publish, and if your decision was a traditional publisher, good chance all of that would have been for naught because usually the traditional publishers have a ton of say and you have very little say in what the design looks like, how long the book is. They may even tell you what can and cannot be inside the book. So you don't want to go through all that effort and expense and then decide that's the way you wanted to go because you will have done all that. I don't want to say for nothing because every bit of that moves you forward, but for most people, it would be disappointing to find out you did all that work and it can't be used. So that's why we do that on the front end in the planning stage. If you'd like more details and more information on how to go about planning your book, there's a free guide you can download at bestsellerbeginnings.com.